what God says for you is for you. Never feel discouraged. Hi guys, I'm Barbie Angel and welcome back to another segment of Let's Chat, where we discuss real life issues for the real life woman. I just wanted to come on here and say happy Mother's Day to all of my moms out there, to all of my expecting mothers, to mothers who have lost babies. I wanted to do this video to kind of give you guys hope, inspiration, and just tell about my miracle baby who is 7 years old. I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, anything is possible. What God says for you is for you. Never feel discouraged. I know there's times we want to give up, or you have heard so many different things from the doctors and diagnosis, but please remember that God got you. So without further ado, let's get into the video. This video is going to be about my baby girl, my 7-year-old daughter, who was born in 2012 after our first miscarriage in 2011. If you haven't listened to that story yet, just click the iCard above and you can watch that video. Our daughter was born after being told that I would not be able to conceive. In the journey of trying to figure out what was going on with me, what my options were as far as having babies in the future, we went to the specialist who ran a bunch of tests, and they wanted to kind of monitor and kind of track my ovulation just to kind of see what it looked like when I ovulated on my own. When I ovulated, it was an egg that was released, and it was very, very tiny, and the doctor stated that, you know, because of the way my body ovulates, I would not be able to conceive on my own, that that small of an egg being released, if I were to get pregnant on my own, I would miscarry very early on. But yeah, that was what was told to me. But they wanted me to continue to come in every week for blood work and just tests and just to see what was going on. So every Friday, 6 a.m., I would be driving an hour and a half to a doctor's appointment to get my blood work drawn. And every appointment I would come in and they would let me know, like, you're gonna miscarry. But every time I came in, HCG levels continued to rise. I remember I got on my hands and my knees, I cried and I begged and I prayed to God, please, Lord, you are the only one that can heal me. You're the only one that can fix this. Please give me another baby. You know, please. I know what the doctors are saying, but I know that you can work miracles. Please work a miracle on me, Lord. And I basically prayed, and I had so much faith going into this process. Like, I truly believed that God was going to do something amazing in my life and miraculous. So, you know, we went through this process. I'm at 12 weeks now. I'm like, you know what? God got me. I'm good. We go to the OBGYN, and I tell them of my prior loss and needing a cerclage. And they're like, okay, we're going to schedule you for the cerclage. They, you know, are going to get my history from my previous hospital, my previous doctors. We get to 13 weeks. We go to the hospital for my procedure. I'm in my gown. I'm ready to go for the surgery. But then they come in and they're like, oh, we're going through your history, and it doesn't really look like you need a cerclage. You know, you only had one loss. We don't think you have an incompetent cervix. It could have just been, you know, one loss, and that's what it was. You know, we don't usually diagnose people with an incompetent cervix until after they have had 2 prior losses. So with that being said, they sent me home. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. We'll see you at your next appointment. You continue on the pregnancy. We do the appointments. Everything's going good. Heartbeats are strong. Baby's moving all the time and all this good stuff. Then we get to the 19-week appointment where I go in for my anatomy scan, hopefully find out the gender, and it happens again. I find out at 19 weeks pregnant that I am 3 centimeters dilated, and I lose my mind. Like, how in the world was I laying on the table in the gown prepared to go in for this procedure, and I was told that I didn't need the procedure, and lo and behold, here I am again in the same situation at the same exact time frame of my other loss. And it's like deja vu. Like, are you kidding me? And they're telling me the same exact thing the doctors told me before. You know, we're so sorry that this is happening, but there's nothing we can do. You're gonna lose the baby. I had did so much research prior to going into this appointment, and just through my whole pregnancy at that point, I had done so much research. I had informed myself of things that you can do, you know, if this was to happen again, options that you have. And so I was informed and I was educated. Laying on that table, I told those people, you know what? God has brought me this far. God got me. I am not terminating my baby. I am not inducing labor. We will continue on this pregnancy. And if my body decides that it cannot continue on with the pregnancy, then that's what's going to happen. But I'm not going to do anything on my own. Like, I'm going to let it just happen naturally. I just kind of went into it like, you know what? If If God says it's for me, then it's for me. We continue on with the pregnancy. Next doctor's appointment, I come in, they check everything, heartbeat's still strong, baby's moving, I'm still 3 centimeters dilated, I haven't progressed at all, and but they're telling me, you know, you're gonna have to terminate. This baby is not gonna have the quality of life. This baby is gonna be born early. This baby is gonna have a lot of issues, a lot of difficulties. You don't want this for your child. You have to terminate. And every appointment, I would say, thank you. I will see you at my next appointment. I am not terminating. Next week, same thing. Next week, same thing. My 22nd week, at this point, I was still being told the same thing, but I'm like, okay, what are my other options? So because I was at 22 weeks, they were like, okay, so if you can make it to 24 weeks, which is the viability stage, go to the hospital and just stay in the hospital for the remainder of your pregnancy on bed rest. I forgot to mention that I did put myself on bed rest from 19 week up into that 22nd week. I put myself on complete bed rest. I did not move to do anything. I only got up to go to the bathroom. If I took a shower, I had a chair that was in my shower, and I sat in the chair to take a shower. If I had to go to doctor's appointments, I only walked from my house to the car. I laid down when I was in the car. When we got to the doctor's appointment, we requested wheelchairs. I didn't walk, period. Like, I was just making sure that, you know, whatever I was doing was not going to make my baby come down more. So that's what I did. I put myself on complete bed rest. So now I was like, now we can put you in the hospital, you know, where you're at 24 weeks, you're at viability stage, go to the hospital. I was gonna stay in the hospital for the remainder of my pregnancy. I forgot to mention as well that throughout my pregnancy, I was getting progesterone shots the whole time. A nurse would come to the house and administer the progesterone shots. So we started our bed rest in the hospital. I stayed in the hospital for a couple of weeks. At about 26 weeks and a couple of days, doctors was like, you know what, you're doing perfectly. The baby's doing well. We're gonna send you back home. You can walk around. You don't want to stay in bed rest. It's not going to change anything. They send me home. I go home, and immediately I'm like, you know what, doctor said I'm good. I'm going to start walking around and doing all these things. And obviously I should have continued on my bed rest, because a couple days later I started to have contractions. Once I had the contractions, we returned back to the hospital. They administered, I think it was magnesium, to kind of stop my contractions. They were able to stop my contractions. I hadn't dilated anymore, if I can remember correctly, but they just said, you know, you will stay on bed rest in the hospital until you deliver. They did give me a round of steroid shots. I got 2 rounds of steroid shots actually while I was in the hospital this time, and it was just kind of like a wait and see kind of a situation. The day that I went into labor, my husband had just left to go back to work. My mom and my sister seeing me, we were eating and laughing. My mom's like, oh, let me help you take a shower. I go to take a shower, and I am in like off and on pain, and I don't even know why it didn't register to either one of us that I was having contractions, but I was having contractions. And luckily my nurse was, I think, either walking by or she came in and she heard me, you know, kind of moaning and in pain, and she was like, oh, you know, let me check you like, what's going on? I get out the shower, she checks me, and my baby is hanging out. They rushed me to an emergency C-section. Just getting the epidural, I was freaking out, like, oh my gosh, please put me to sleep. I can't do it. I don't want anything in my spine. I don't know how to do this. I was freaking out, and they're like, we don't have any time for this. Like, you have to get this done right now. We're trying to save your baby. Because of how fast everything went, I could feel basically everything, honestly. That was like the most scariest time. I just remember praying and praying and praying, like, oh, please let her be okay. Let my baby girl be okay. And especially because my husband wasn't there, I was so blessed to have my mom there with me. They get my baby girl out. They rush her to the NICU. I had to go into recovery after my C-section, and I couldn't see my baby girl until the next day that I went down to the NICU to see her. And when I tell you, she was the most precious little thing ever in life. Like, I am so blessed hearing all of these things that could happen, and breathing issues, and I was so scared, but I just continued to pray. We all continued to pray. The only real issue she had was, like, she had to get a blood transfusion a couple of days after she was born, and that was it. Like, my baby girl was breathing on her own from the beginning, doing so well. Like, I can't even explain to you the miracle God gave to me. Basically, her getting bigger and learning how to eat, and that was it. And yeah, she spent 68 days in the NICU, and when she came home with all the strength in the world. She has no major health issues, no issues at all. She only has asthma. That is her biggest kind of hurdle, but other than that, my baby girl is perfection. Like, she is so smart. She is literally my best friend. She is beautiful inside and out. Like, how did I even deserve to have this blessing? And I know it's hard when you're going through these things and you're being told all this stuff by the doctors, but look, God has the final word. He has the final say. If he says it's for you, sis, it is for you. I have this amazing daughter. Like, she's a star. That little girl is hilarious. She is pure comedy. She is so genuine, she is so caring, and she is so smart. Straight A student, above average on all of her testing. She's amazing. Like, I can't even stop gushing about my child, but she is literally the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I say all of that to let you know, you need to be strong, ladies. I don't care what any doctor tells you. I don't care what you've gone through. I don't care what you're dealing with in the moment. You need to have faith and you need to have hope that God will intervene. God will make a way out of no way. I promise you, like, I am the living witness. Like, have hope. I hope my story is inspirational to you. I hope that this kind of gives you the motivation to keep trying, to keep going, to pushing yourself further. Women are miraculous. Like, we go through so much. We are the bomb. Like, that's it, period, point blank. Like, we do so much, and I am so grateful to have an amazing support system of women around me. And I pray and I hope that everybody watching this, if you're going through anything like this, that my story can be encouraging to you, that you can continue to push forward. Pray that we all stay blessed. Happy Mother's Day to all of you amazing, amazing women. I pray that God blesses you with everything that your heart desires. Stay strong. A special happy Mother's Day to my mother, who has been with me through all of the hard times, who has been by my side, who has helped me get through it. I love you so much, queen. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to like this video, and please do not forget to subscribe. I have so much more amazing content coming for you guys.